Welcome to the Property Code. I am Nick, and today we are talking about new home builder incentives in the market of 2025. Search data says buyers are hunting for real opportunities, not slogans. People type phrases like homes for sale near me and Zillow homes for sale, which tells us inventory is on their mind. Interest around big action construction and builder bunker hints at the pipeline of houses that must be moved. Queries tied to home improvement stores suggest buyers care about practical costs after move-in. All of that points to one truth. When builders have inventory and buyers face higher rates, incentives become the bridge. Let me tell you about Autumn, a nurse relocating to Seattle with a start date she cannot move. She loves the idea of a brand new 3-bedroom in a subdivision 10 minutes from her hospital. The base price fits her budget only if the payment lands under a firm monthly number. The sales agent mentions the preferred lender and a package of incentives. Autumn knows two simple rules. Do payment math instead of chasing shiny upgrades, and get every promise in writing that survives delays and change orders. The first category she evaluates is the interest rate buydown. There are two flavors. A temporary buydown lowers the rate for the first years and then steps back up. A 2-1 buydown might trim roughly 2 percentage points in year 1 and 1 percentage point in year 2. This can save several $1,000s across those early years, and it works best if you expect to refinance once rates ease. A permanent buydown uses points paid upfront to cut the rate for the life of the loan. That is stronger if you plan to keep the mortgage longer. Autumn asks the lender to show 3 versions side by side. Scenario 1 is no buydown. Scenario 2 is a permanent buydown funded by the builder. Scenario 3 is a temporary buydown plus a smaller permanent reduction. She compares the break even in plain language. If the permanent buydown costs $5,000 in the form of a seller credit and lowers the payment by roughly $80 per month, the break even is a little over 5 years. If she will refinance sooner, the temporary route may win. Closing cost credits come next. These reduce cash needed at closing but do not change the payment. For a buyer with limited cash, a credit can be the difference between starting now or waiting another year. Autumn asks the lender about loan program limits because every mortgage type caps how much a builder can contribute. Those caps often live in the low to mid single-digit percentages, and they vary by down payment and by program. She confirms the total package of concessions fits under the cap, so none of the credit evaporates on closing day. Price reductions and lot premium waivers are straightforward. A price cut lowers the loan amount and can make appraisals happier. A waived lot premium feels like a free upgrade while also helping the appraisal because the contract price falls. Autumn politely asks whether there is flexibility on either item and ties her request to timing. Builders often loosen up at the end of a quarter or when they are closing out a phase. Then come the design studio perks, appliance packages, window coverings, fencing, landscaping, and wiring for an electric vehicle charger show up often in 2025. Autumn likes smart leak sensors, a learning thermostat, and a heat pump water heater because they cut utility bills and can lower insurance premiums. She skips designer lighting because it does not change the monthly budget and can be swapped later. She asks for a small design credit to handle blinds and a backyard gate, 2 items that residents use on day 1. Rate lock protection matters more than it did a few years ago. Construction delays happen. Autumn asks the lender to write that any lock extension caused by builder delay is covered by the builder, and she asks for a float down that lets her capture a lower market rate if the market improves before closing. A single sentence in an addendum can save real money and real stress. HOA dues and mortgage insurance get less attention than they deserve. Some builders will prepay a year of HOA dues. It is helpful, but Autumn knows that dues return after that year, so she does not let a prepaid perk distract her from the payment conversation. A few lenders structure credits that offset mortgage insurance for a period. If she qualifies, this can act like a stealth payment cut during the first years of ownership. Now, the fine print. Appraisals look at price and at net concessions. If the package of incentives is enormous, an appraiser might adjust the value. When that risk appears, Autumn asks the lender to point more of the incentive toward a permanent buydown rather than toward oversized closing credits, because buydown funds are often treated more cleanly by underwriters. She also checks the warranty. New homes usually come with a 1-year workmanship warranty, a 2-year systems warranty, and a 10-year structural warranty. She sets a calendar reminder at month 11 to submit a punch list so minor fixes happen on the builder's dime. Negotiation is not combat. It is sequencing. Autumn makes a simple request. Show me the lowest monthly payment you can deliver if I close by the end of next month using a permanent buy down and your maximum credit. Then she asks a second question. If we cannot hit that payment, what price reduction or lot premium waiver would bridge the gap? Finally, she layers small, high-value items like blinds, a garage door keypad, and smart leak sensors. Because she is flexible on close date and is willing to use the preferred lender if terms match the market, the builder says yes to most of the package. This is how her final deal shakes out. A modest price reduction trims the loan amount. A permanent buy down nudges the rate lower for the life of the loan. A small temporary buy down smooths the first 2 years and makes the move less stressful. A closing cost credit cuts cash to close. A design credit installs energy efficient appliances and window coverings. The builder covers a lock extension if framing slips. Every item is captured on a signed addendum. She still completes a third-party inspection at pre-drywall and again at final. Small issues are fixed before closing. On day one, her utilities are lower, her blinds already hang, and her payment meets the target number she set in January. She did not chase every shiny perk. She prioritized the kind that permanently lowers cost or reduces future repair risk. Let me leave you with a quick framework you can use in any sales office this year. First, know your payment ceiling before you step inside. Second, ask for a written scenario that combines a permanent rate buy down with a reasonable closing credit. Third, if your issue is cash to close, push more credit to that bucket and accept a slightly higher rate with a plan to refinance later. Fourth, if your issue is monthly payment, favor permanent buy down dollars over cosmetic upgrades. Fifth, confirm how rate locks, lock extensions, and float downs work in writing. Sixth, keep concessions within program caps and within a range that will not spook the appraisal. Seventh, aim for end of quarter or end of community phases when leverage is highest. Eighth, do not confuse prepaid HOA dues with a lasting discount. Ninth, inspect twice even on a brand new house. 10th, capture everything on addenda that survive delays. Why are incentives so common in 2025? Builders fought supply chain snarls for years, and now many carry completed or near completed homes with financing costs they would love to unload. At the same time, buyers face mortgage rates that sit well above the early decade lows. Incentives are the handshake that lets both sides win. If you run the math with a clear head, you can turn a builder's marketing budget into durable savings for your household. Autumn's last move is the most important. She saves a reserve equal to at least 3 months of expenses because incentives do not fix the unexpected. A reserve does. She sets a reminder to revisit her rate with her lender in about 2 years and keeps an eye on market shifts. Incentives helped her cross the gap today, and a refinance may help her lock in tomorrow's improvement. That is the playbook for new home builder incentives this year. Focus on payment impact and risk reduction, not on shiny additions you could buy later. Choose the incentives that compound for as long as you own the house and make the builder's inventory problem your financial advantage.